The USS Gerald R. Ford, the world's most advanced aircraft carrier, has arrived in the Caribbean, marking a historic moment for both the U.S. Navy and the region. This colossal vessel, bristling with cutting-edge technology and a formidable air wing, is not just another ship passing through these waters. It's a floating fortress, a clear demonstration of American naval power. Its presence signals a major shift in U.S. military posture, as the Ford leads a powerful carrier strike group into a region that rarely sees such overwhelming force. This deployment follows a direct White House directive, reflecting urgent new priorities in Washington. It marks a clear pivot from Europe and the Middle East, redirecting focus and resources to the Western Hemisphere at a time of growing uncertainty. The carrier strike group entered the region on November 11, 2025, after a rapid and meticulously coordinated transit from the Mediterranean. The speed and precision of this movement underscore the seriousness of the mission. This is no routine patrol. Washington is making a statement, projecting strength and resolve at a time when global tensions are on the rise. The presence of a supercarrier in these waters is rare and sends a powerful message to Latin America and beyond. It's a reminder that the U.S. can project overwhelming force anywhere, anytime. The mission is to disrupt and dismantle criminal networks, especially those tied to the drug trade, but it also serves as a deterrent to any state or non-state actors considering destabilizing actions in the region. The scale of this deployment raises questions about its impact on regional stability. Analysts are debating whether this show of force will bring security or provoke new tensions among neighboring countries. For local populations, the sight of the Ford is both impressive and unsettling. Some see it as a sign of protection, while others worry about the risks of being caught in the middle of great power politics. The U.S. is escalating its commitment, transforming policy into a visible show of force. Fighter jets roar off the deck, and the American flag flies high, a symbol of intent and capability. This is the opening chapter of a new, uncertain era in the Caribbean. The arrival of the Ford could reshape alliances, trade, and security dynamics for years to come. The Ford's arrival is more than a military maneuver. It's a declaration of intent, a signal that the U.S. is ready to defend its interests and those of its allies in the hemisphere. How this story unfolds will be watched by the world. Every move, every decision, will be analyzed by allies and adversaries alike. The carrier is not just a ship, it's a symbol of American resolve, a floating embassy of power and diplomacy. As the region braces for what comes next, one thing is certain. The eyes of the world are now fixed on the Caribbean, and the USS Gerald R. Ford stands at the center of a rapidly changing strategic landscape. The Ford's mission is clear: support a presidential directive to dismantle transnational criminal organizations. The Pentagon's goal: cripple the infrastructure of drug trafficking networks, not just intercept shipments. Deploying a supercarrier for this mission marks a dramatic escalation in the war on drugs. The carrier's aircraft provide wide-area surveillance, while support ships interdict smugglers. The Trump administration has accused Venezuela of complicity in the drug trade, using this as justification for the military buildup. This is framed as a national security issue, not just law enforcement. The crew faces a complex task: hunting fast-moving smuggling boats, not enemy navies. Rules of engagement will be crucial. The operation signals a long-term U.S. commitment to the region. Success will be measured by the disruption of criminal empires, not just drug seizures. The stakes are high for both the U.S. and the region. The USS Gerald R. Ford is not just the largest, most advanced aircraft carrier ever built. It's a floating city, a mobile airbase, and a symbol of American naval dominance. Stretching over 100 feet, it's longer than 3 football fields and towers above the waves, bristling with technology and power. With a crew of more than 4,000 sailors and aviators, the Ford is powered by 2 nuclear reactors, giving it the ability to operate for over 20 years without refueling. Life aboard is a blend of intense discipline and camaraderie, with everything from gyms to cafeterias, all functioning around the clock. Its main purpose is to project overwhelming air power anywhere in the world at a moment's notice. The Ford can launch and recover aircraft day or night in any weather, making it a truly global force. The Ford's expansive flight deck is a hive of activity, launching and recovering dozens of advanced aircraft, including the formidable FA-18 Super Hornets and cutting-edge F-35C stealth fighters. Each launch is a carefully choreographed ballet of precision and teamwork. At the heart of this operation is the revolutionary EMALS catapult system, which uses electromagnetic energy to launch jets faster and more efficiently than ever before. This technology allows for rapid, sustained sorties, crucial for maintaining constant surveillance and air superiority. The Ford is protected by layers of advanced defenses, from powerful missile launchers and sophisticated radar domes to close-in weapon systems that can intercept incoming threats in seconds. But the Ford never sails alone. It's always accompanied by a formidable escort of destroyers like the USS Bainbridge, cruisers, and supply ships, forming a carrier strike group that multiplies its defensive and offensive capabilities. Together, this strike group brings an unprecedented level of military technology and coordination to the Caribbean, creating a shield of security and deterrence across the region. Deep within the Ford, its high-tech command center is the nerve center of operations, where officers coordinate ships, aircraft, and intelligence assets. Here, every movement in the surrounding waters is tracked, and suspected smugglers are identified in real time. The result is a massive surveillance and enforcement zone stretching for hundreds of miles, where few can move undetected. For criminal organizations, the arrival of the Ford and its strike group is a game changer, a formidable obstacle that makes smuggling operations far riskier and more difficult. The Ford's presence shifts the balance of power in the Caribbean, sending a clear signal to allies and adversaries alike. The message is unmistakable. U.S. military reach and resolve are unmatched, and its commitment to regional security is unwavering. The Caribbean has never witnessed a force of this scale and sophistication, patrolling its waters and protecting its shores. The era of unchecked smuggling is over. With the Ford and its strike group on station, the seas are safer, and the rules have changed. The Ford strike group is just one part of a growing U.S. military buildup in the Caribbean. 10,000 U.S. troops, the Iwo Jima Amphibious Ready Group, and a nuclear-powered submarine are all in the region. Marines conduct landing drills in Puerto Rico, while bases and airfields are being upgraded for rapid response. Submarines add a hidden threat, complicating any adversary's calculations. The U.S. is building infrastructure for sustained operations, not a short-term show of force. Strategic locations like Puerto Rico and St. Croix are being transformed into major staging areas. This is a comprehensive, multi-domain show of force. The U.S. is signaling a long-term commitment to the Caribbean. The Ford's arrival follows a dramatic shift. President Trump has authorized direct military attacks on suspected drug smuggling vessels. This is a major departure from previous policies of interdiction and arrest. As of November 10th, 20 vessels have been destroyed, with over 70 deaths, none given due process. The U.S. claims these were criminal targets, but has provided no public evidence. Critics call this summary execution at sea, raising serious legal and moral questions. International law requires prioritizing arrest and preservation of life, not lethal force. Human rights groups warn of a dangerous precedent and the risk of killing innocents. The strategy aims to deter smuggling through shock and fear. The effectiveness is debated, but the controversy is undeniable. America's new approach blurs the line between policing and warfare. The international community is alarmed by America's new policy. The United Nations has condemned the militarization of the Caribbean and the use of lethal force. UN officials label the strikes as extrajudicial killings, a serious rebuke. This criticism undermines America's image as a defender of human rights. The UN's condemnation isolates the U.S. and emboldens regional opposition. The U.S. now faces charges of violating international law. The diplomatic fallout is growing. The controversy has fractured U.S. alliances. The U.K. has stopped sharing intelligence on suspected drug vessels, fearing complicity in illegal strikes. Colombia, once a key partner, has suspended military cooperation until the attacks stop. France, with Caribbean territories, voices legal and ethical concerns. The U.S. is increasingly isolated, as traditional allies distance themselves. Counter-narcotics operations rely on international cooperation, now at risk. The loss of Allied support could undermine the mission's effectiveness. Even close partners have limits when human rights are at stake. The diplomatic headache for Washington is real. The U.S. must now go it alone. The U.S. buildup has sharply escalated tensions with Venezuela. Caracas sees the Ford's presence as a direct threat, not a counter-narcotics mission. Venezuela's military is on maximum alert, conducting nationwide drills. President Maduro has unified state and military institutions for national defense. The U.S. accuses Maduro of leading a drug cartel, offering a $50 million bounty. International agencies dispute Venezuela's role as a major drug hub. Caracas claims the drug war is a pretext for regime change. The risk of confrontation is higher than ever. The Ford's arrival has brought a simmering conflict to the brink. The world watches as the standoff intensifies. The stakes could not be higher. The Ford's deployment marks a pivotal moment for the Caribbean, signaling a new era of military presence and heightened vigilance in these waters. The arrival of such a formidable force is not just a show of strength, it's a message to both allies and adversaries that the status quo is changing. The mission is clear: dismantle powerful criminal networks that have long operated with impunity, and assert U.S. power in a region increasingly shaped by transnational threats. Every operation is a high-stakes gamble, with the potential to disrupt illicit trade routes and restore order, or to escalate tensions even further. Yet, the use of lethal force has ignited a firestorm of controversy. Around the globe, protests erupt and headlines question the cost of intervention. The fallout is not just diplomatic, it's deeply personal for those caught in the crossfire. The UK and Colombia, once close partners, have suspended cooperation, leaving the US increasingly isolated on the world stage. Trust is eroding, and old alliances are being tested as never before. Tensions with Venezuela are at a boiling point. Both sides are on high alert, with military units ready to respond at a moment's notice. The risk of miscalculation looms large, threatening to ignite a wider conflict. The region now faces a volatile mix of crime fighting and geopolitical rivalry, where every maneuver is scrutinized and every decision carries weighty consequences. The outcome of this standoff will shape U.S. relations with Latin America for years to come, influencing trade, security, and the very fabric of regional cooperation. This is more than a drug war. It's a test of American policy, resolve, and the ability to adapt to a rapidly changing world. Strategic decisions made here will echo far beyond the Caribbean. The world is watching closely, waiting to see if this bold move will bring lasting security or spark a new era of conflict and instability. The future of the Caribbean truly hangs in the balance, with every decision shaping the destiny of millions who call these islands home. The Ford's patrol is a symbol of both hope and danger, a reminder that peace is fragile and the stakes have never been higher. The rules of engagement for the 21st century are being written now in real time, as leaders and soldiers alike navigate uncharted waters. The next chapter is uncertain, and the world holds its breath as history unfolds in the Caribbean.